Hello, fellow megatennists. I told y'all it was coming. Now it's been announced, Raidou HD. So let's look at everything this return to Taisho 20 has to offer. Grab your kuda tubes and let's go summon some devils. It's been 19 long years since Raidou first came out on the PS2, and it has always been a unique game, let alone a unique Atlus title, focusing on hard-boiled detective mystery where the gameplay is split between investigation via talking to NPCs, dungeon exploration, and a real-time action battle system. Raidou Remastered The Mystery of the Soullest Army is coming to modern consoles and on Steam June 19th. Some basic information about Raidou is that it's the third game in the Devil Summoner series, which features Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, Raidou 1, Raidou 2, and Soul Hackers 2. And that's just not including things like the mobile games. Unlike the other Devil Summoner titles, which take place in modern day or near future, Raidou is set in the fictional past of Japan, where the Taisho era didn't actually end when it was meant to. Anyway, this remaster is interesting because unlike Nocturne HD, which only slightly changed things, this game actually changes some fundamental design elements. For one, there's 126 demons, some from Shin Megami Tensei 5 and some from Raidou 2, which is just a clear indicator, in my opinion, that Raidou 2 is coming soon. That's over 50 demons added to the original compendium, because the original compendium was about 70 demons. Another element that I greatly appreciate is the tastefully touched up cutscenes, which in my opinion keep the spirit of the original release but just look really nice. The art, by the way, is very reminiscent of Cosmo Kaneko, especially the box art, but sometimes it doesn't really look like Kaneko that much for me. I think the un-Kaneko look is more visible when you look at the female characters on the box art. Much of the original team returned to this game, with the obvious exception being Cosmo Kaneko among some other people. Kaneko is busy working with the company Callipul on his mobile game. That means that the rumor of Kazuyuki Yamai leaving Atlus was unfounded, because he's here as the director for Raidou Remastered. And this is something that he's been talking about a lot. So I suspect he left SMT5 early on to start working on this. And that kind of would explain why so many Devil Summoner demons were in Shin Megami Tensei 5. I believe they definitely worked on this around the same time, which would explain the much higher level of polish for this remaster than we have seen when we compare it to Nocturne HD. That and Nocturne HD was also an outsourced project. Other changes include things like full voice acting, an added fast travel function by using the in-game function of the train, so you'll be charged for that, by the way. I've also noticed that some of the cast are returning voice actors in English, such as the voice actor for Victor and the voice actor for Goto. You can also turn off the voices if you want to play in like the original vibe, you know? Then there's the detective notebook change. Goto will compile information to help the player via a notebook, and this includes the next objective, information gathered on the case, and things like game controls and battle tips, really making him like the Watson to your Sherlock. There's new difficulty levels included: Megiddo, which is like the merciful option, where Raidou and the demons can't die; Royal Path, which is the easy mode; Right Path, which is the normal mode; Seeker of the Path, which is the hard mode; and Super Raidou Kuzunoa is the hardest difficulty, and that's only accessible via New Game Plus. These are the Japanese names, by the way. I don't know what the English names are. Autosave and quick save are also added to this game, which the amount of save slots also increased to 20 save slots. They also added a minimap and a next objective display. Minimap will always be on display on the field, and the next destination is clearly indicated to make it easier to progress without getting lost. The battle system has been very much revamped to the point where it's essentially Raidou 2's battle system with some additional elements. This includes things like dual summoning demons, which was something exclusive to Raidou 2, meaning that in my opinion, Raidou 2's remaster might add triple or quadruple summoning. They also added new skills that didn't exist before, and they included some insane new cutscenes. Demons in the party will also gain experience now, meaning that not just the demon that you're using, but every demon will gain experience. You can register multiple types of the same demon so you can make different builds. New journal entries or diary entries are also added. You can now fully recover by returning to the Nurumi Detective Agency. The shooting mode is now a feature in the battles. You can also stealth strike enemies now to gain advantages in battle. There's also a system called Mag Drain that's been announced, but I don't know what it does. There's a passive sword skill set. There's aforementioned the summoning skills that I mentioned. You can now lock in on battles too, meaning you can lock in on targets, which is something you couldn't do before. You could also dash in the game. You could reverse fuse in the game. You could search fuse. Warping from save points to Gomaden and Konaya also exists. Naki Sawami now heals for free. Passive skills can be passed down to demons now. Training items, EXP items, and specific skills are all added now. Skill inheritance for demons has been tweaked, but I don't know exactly in what way. It's a very robust remaster overall. There's also going to be physical copies available on all platforms except for Steam, obviously. Currently, we don't know the collector's edition information outside of who's making it. Unfortunately, limited run games will be making the collector's edition in America, so we don't know what it's going to have just yet, or if it's going to even launch on time. There's also pre-order bonuses and a digital deluxe edition. Included in the digital deluxe edition are some basic stuff, some demons, stuff to help you early on, stuff to make grinding easier, and some exclusive trials so you can get special skills, and the piece de resistance, the pre-order bonus, which is Raidou's glasses. The Japanese collector's edition is understandably much more robust, at least because we don't know what the English edition has yet. There's a couple of different tiers. So there's the standard tier, the DX edition, the DX Bright Arts, the Atlus D Shop exclusive, exclusive DX, and exclusive DX Bright Arts. To put it simply, the Atlus D Shop exclusive stuff are the Raidou themed Hanafuda set, and the Bright Arts is the special Raiho Bright Art that is presumably only going to be available with this collector's edition. The Famitsu DX includes a book called the Taisho 20 edition, which features trivia about the game and a special deep roundtable interview with the Atlus staff. It's 48 pages long. There's also going to be 2 B2 sized posters, which are very big. One features the original box art and one features the newer box art. And there's also this diorama. It's featuring Raidou, Goto, McCoy, Mo Shuvu, and some backdrops including Chikudo-cho, Fukagawa-cho, Ginza-cho, and Harumi-cho. And lastly, a sticker featuring Raiho in the same style and size as the Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance stickers. They're also selling a soundtrack, and that was announced same day. It's gonna release the same day as the game. This features 2 discs, which will contain some new arrangements by Atlus Sound Team as bonus tracks. Unfortunately, as of the recording of this video, we don't know who is the people making which arrangement and which track will be rearranged. But we do know that the limited edition will come with a cute keychain featuring Raidou and Goto. Now, why is this being remastered? Well, partly because it was voted for, and pretty much everything that was voted for on that poll has been getting a remaster, so it's not surprising. The other reason was the same as its initial development. It's depicting another era in an attempt to cheer up people of the modern turbulent times. Back then, it was the turbulent times of 2006, and you might felt that this still was relevant as the future still remains uncertain. I'm going to quote him directly because this quote goes kind of hard. "In this world without heroes, I think there's great significance in Raidou being able to make a comeback." He goes on to tease that he doesn't want things to end here, which sounds a lot like he's saying, please buy this so we can make Raidou 2, but I'm pretty sure they're already making that. But it also sounds like what he's been teasing for a while now, which is potentially making a Raidou 3. The first thing I noticed when I saw the trailer was the title change, and Yamai actually explains that. There are 2 reasons for it. After the sequel came out, fans apparently wanted Raidou 1 to be re-released with Raidou 2's battle system. This boiled down to everything about the game being excellent except the gameplay. That's why Raidou Remake uses the battle system from Raidou 2. Then, in addition to that, this game also features work from new staff, as well as a lot of the returning staff. Because the new staff wanted to breathe new life into the game by polishing the systems, it became a game more resembling the ideal concept of Raidou 1, but with the elements of Raidou 2 and more. So this was not the same as the original game in that sense. The other reason is the original release didn't get released worldwide, but this one is. And because there's going to be a lot of new fans of Atlus games who want to know if they can play this game, they wanted to make the title very clear and easy to understand. If you're a longtime fan, you're very well aware of how difficult it can be when you're getting in to understand which games you should play in what order and if any games are connected. They also checked social media, by the way, and they said that they noticed that fans around the world simply call this game Raidou, and they wanted to keep that true to the title here because it became a recognizable brand name. Lastly, there's already a collab event announced. This is with Ninja Town, who has already promised new art of the cast in cat ears and tails. If you're a Raidou fan, I would reckon you should save up some money to go to Japan in June, because I don't think this is going to be the only event. I think the only major question that I see now is we don't know who did the cover art for this game. The common sense would tell you that it's probably Masayuki Doi, but it doesn't really look like Masayuki Doi. But we do know that he is a trained artist, and maybe he's just trying to replicate Kaneko as close as possible. When I said the female characters on the box art don't necessarily look very Kaneko-like, they do have a glimmer of Doi art to it. But the rendering style isn't very Doi in my opinion, and there are other people who I think are good candidates like Azusa Shimada, but she is for Persona Studio, so I don't know if she would actually have done the art here. We might figure this out before the release date, or we might figure it out at release date, but right now we don't know who did it. All that being said, let me know how hyped you are. Are you getting it for Steam? Because you should, because that's where all the cool mods are going to be. Or what platform are you getting it for? Are you as upset as I am that the English Collector's Edition is going to be a limited run gaming exclusive? Honestly, I'm really excited for this game. This is the most excited I've ever been for a remaster. I know that even calling it a remaster is kind of contentious amongst fans considering how much has changed, but I would argue you should think of it like the ship of Theseus. How many changes till it's no longer the original ship, you know? Anyway, that's all we know so far. Thanks for watching, and goodbye, fellow megatennists.